Good afternoon. I am Bouwer van der Eems from the Pestalozzi Trust, and I'm currently here at the Pamoja conference in Nairobi, Kenya. It's a conference on home education, and I've got the privilege to talk to Dr. Brian Ray. He is an acknowledged international expert on home education. Brian, can you just give a bit of your background?
Sure, yeah. So I'm from Oregon in the United States and the president of the National Home Education Research Institute, NARI. And NARI has been around now for 33 years. We were founded in 1990, and 5 years before that, in 1985, I started the journal Homeschool Researcher. So I've been involved in and following, doing research on, gathering research on, disseminating research on home-based education, or now we call homeschooling, for about 38 years.
So, Brian, what I want to talk about is the BELA Bill. So in South Africa, Parliament is currently considering the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill, and the essential components of that bill is that parents have to ask permission to educate their children at home. The state wants to prescribe the curriculum by requiring that the curriculum they must follow must use skills and contents comparable to that of the national curriculum, and they want to enforce assessment by competent assessors. So I've just want to ask a few questions to look at those things from a research point of view. So my first question is it possible for an education official to assess whether home education is in the interest of children or not?
No. We have decades of theory and education. We have decades of experience on education. And even if we come from a professional education perspective, professional educators know that there is no one best system for all children. So it's basically impossible for a government entity to decide what would be best for a child. I mean, the bill talks about permission and prescription of a curriculum and assessment. So if children vary all the time by individuals, sometimes by family, and sometimes by geographic or cultural location, it's not possible for a government to effectively either prescribe or assess whether they're learning. To assess something, you have to know what your goals are, and people differ in their goals consistently, even within any given nation.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, then the next aspect is that the BELA Bill prescribes that parents must follow a curriculum of which the skills and contents are comparable to the national curriculum. Will this have an effect if government now prescribes curriculum? Will this have an effect on home learners?
Completely, because one of the special elements of home-based education is that it is essentially de facto an individualized education program, lowercase IEP, for every child. So now if you all of a sudden say that some national body is going to prescribe the curriculum for all these children, you've just you've undercut one of the most beneficial parts of the nature of home education. And we have years of research now to show that home-based education is superior in most ways to an institutional classroom setting.
So so home education with a prescribed curriculum loses all its benefits.
It's almost gone. I mean,
yeah.
In other words, you still have some things, like you have smaller class size and you have some other things, but you lose one of the very essentials, almost the sine qua non of home-based education, and that's personalization, customization, individualization, all these kinds of things that professional educators, and I've been a professional educator, I've been a certified teacher, a government certified teacher, all the things that we dream of doing in the classroom, but really we cannot do because of the nature of institutional classroom education.
Thank you. The next one is, one of the reasons why they say home education must be monitored is to check that there are not children falling through the cracks. So, and the means that they want to achieve that is to prescribe that everybody must do some standardized assessment. Is it theoretically or practically possible to monitor children with standardized assessments in order to identify children that fall through the cracks?
Well, there's several ways to address this. First of all, I think this is the simplest way. State-run institutional schooling has all kinds of rules and regulations and testing and assessment, and even with all of that, thousands upon thousands of children fall through the cracks. So all those assessments do not guarantee anything. First of all. Now let's take home-based education in particular. We know from research